right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about a totally different way to think about growth. It's a model that challenges the old playbook, the one we're all used to. We're talking about building a brand that actually lasts, long after you turn off the ads.
So, let's just kick things off with a pretty bold statement, one that really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today. The idea is simple. A lead that comes to you is just way more valuable than a lead you had to pay to get in front of. And that simple difference, well, that's everything when it comes to long-term sustainable growth. Think about it like this. When you're only relying on ads, you're basically building your entire business on rented land, right? You're just paying for eyeballs for a split second of attention in someone's feed. It's not something you own. It's a space you're just renting, month after month. And here's the painful truth about renting attention. The second you stop paying that rent, poof, your leads disappear. Your entire pipeline, all that growth you thought you had, it's all tied to that ad budget. You turn off the tap, the water stops. It's a super fragile way to build a business, isn't it?
Okay, so let's really get into what we're calling the rented attention trap. We're going to look at why this ad-focused model is really just a short-term game. I mean, it feels like you're making progress, right? But when you zoom out, the long-term picture, well, it tells a completely different story.
So first off, the math just stops adding up after a while. I mean, look at this. The cost to get a single click, it pretty much only goes in one direction, up. Every single month, you're stuck in this bidding war, and you have to spend more and more money just to get the same amount of attention.
And while your costs are going up, your returns start to go down. This is what's so interesting. You see these big spikes in traffic, which looks great on a report, but that activity, it almost never turns into what actually matters. New deposits, real customers. The results just don't follow the traffic. And that gets us to the absolute core of the issue. Traffic does not equal trust. It's so important to get that. Getting a click, that's easy. It's just a flicker of curiosity. It's not the same as earning someone's trust. And let's be real, without trust, those high-quality clients you're looking for, they're just not going to stick around.
So let's talk about the real problem, because it's not actually about leads, it's about visibility. See, you might think you have a lead problem, but what you really have is a trust problem. The whole game shifts when you realize it's not about finding leads, it's about being credible enough for them to find you. And this really shows you that moment of truth, because what's the first thing someone does before they work with you? They Google you. Of course they do. And what do they find? On one side, you've got the unknown broker, basically a ghost online. Just an ad, no news, nothing. On the other side, the trusted broker. Boom, media features, articles, positive reviews. I mean, which one would you trust? It's a no-brainer. And it all comes down to this fundamental rule of how things work today. People don't really trust what you say about yourself. They trust what they find about you. You can shout from the rooftops that you're the best, but it's what they discover on their own that actually matters.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple equation, but it can be brutal. No visibility equals no trust, period. If you don't have a credible online footprint, you just look like a risk. And in your industry, risk is the one thing everyone is trying to run away from. Traders, partners, everyone.
Okay, enough about the problem. Let's talk about the solution. Let's get into how to build the PR funnel. This is the system for attracting, not chasing, those high-quality leads. It's about creating an engine for sustainable growth.
So here it is, the 4 steps of the PR funnel. It's a really logical flow. First, visibility, getting seen where it counts. Then, authority, being seen as the expert. That leads to trust, becoming the obvious, low-risk choice. And finally, the goal, inbound leads, where clients start coming to you. It's a powerful progression. All right, step 1, visibility. This is the groundwork. It's all about showing up consistently wherever your potential clients are looking. We're talking media, search results, you name it. It's about creating that widespread awareness so you're not invisible anymore. From there, we move to authority. This is where you're not just seen, you're recognized. You get featured, you're mentioned in articles, you're positioned as a credible voice in the industry. You become a go-to expert. And what does that authority build? Trust. This is huge. The perceived risk of doing business with you just drops instantly. Why? Because all that authority you've built makes you a safe, reliable choice. People feel comfortable with you before they've even spoken to you. And this is where the magic happens. Inbound leads. The whole game flips. Suddenly, high-quality traders, IBs, partners, They start reaching out to you directly. You're not chasing anymore. You're attracting.
All right, let's put these two funnels head to head, attract versus interrupt. Because we're talking about two completely different approaches with two completely different outcomes. Okay, let's compare these growth models. The ads funnel, what's that look like? You pay, you get a click, you hope for the best, and then they drop. It's a hope and pray strategy. But the PR funnel, it's completely different. They've seen you, they've come to trust you, they search for you, and then they contact you. See the difference? One's a gamble, the other is a system.
Really, it all boils down to this. One interrupts, the other attracts. That's the core difference. Are you trying to interrupt people's lives, or are you building something that naturally pulls them in?
Because here's the thing. Smart brokers don't just chase leads. They build systems that attract them. At the end of the day, that's the real takeaway. It's about building an asset, a brand that works for you around the clock, not just when you're paying for it. So I want to leave you with one final question to think about. If you stopped paying for ads tomorrow, would your business still exist? Seriously, think about it. Are you building your business on solid ground, or are you just renting attention?